Today I'm going to be working on something a little different. I've bought myself a chainsaw mill at a sale that was on recently and decided that I want to give chainsaw milling a try, as I've always cut my own firewood. I've tried it in the past with a smaller saw, but now I've got a larger saw which is an MS661. Before I was using a 391 previously and it just didn't have enough power and the mill was a lot smaller size. The mill I have now is a 36-inch mill. So the mill itself is a Granberg MK3, which I believe to be a 36-inch mill. But I got it for a steal, which was nice. I got it for $50, and I don't have a top cut rail big enough for the slab that I have in mind. I have a black wood that I want to mill up. Basically what I'm going to be doing is welding two nuts onto the top there, and then these bolts will thread straight through there, and I'm probably going to sharpen up a point on those so they can just sit on top of the log. But this is going to go into there like that. And these are going to go horizontally across the rail, and obviously they'll be recessed, and like so. That'll be on the bottom, so there will only be a small amount of adjustment. And then I've done these handles up here so I don't have to use any tools, and I've put a slight bevel, like blunted them off a little bit, and just done a little notch there, which I plan on welding. So it will be like so, sitting on top of the nut like that, welding to it, and I'll be able to adjust it by hand, just spinning this, and I'll have the same on all four holes. And then I'm going to have to make some more supports for the rail in between so it stays nice and square and plumb. That'll be the first part of it. I'll add in these two pieces, and then I'll put in supports elsewhere, probably just some square tube as well. Then I'll be looking into some sort of stake that I want to add in, which will bite into the log on both ends. I've just put a bevel on these, as you can see, so it'll form a puddle filling this part here of the weld into the bevel and then onto the RHS as well. Now what I'm going to be doing is working out where I want it to have some mounting points where I can make the adjustment. So I'm going to measure the total length. So what I've done now is I'm just using the magnets and keeping it so it's square. put these handles on top of the bolt so I can adjust it by hand instead of doing it with a socket set. I'm not too sure if these bolts are going to be long enough, but it's just going to be a bit of trial and error, and it doesn't really matter, I can always change that up later. So I'll get started by welding in these nuts here, and then I'll flip it over and weld on the handles to the bolts. Righto guys, so as you can see I've finished off these bits and I've put on this little bit of metal here. So what my plan is, I'm going to grab this bolt here, one of these, and I'm going to sharpen it up, and basically that there is going to sit like that, and I'm going to use that as a stake. I've done that on the other end as well. I'm going to hammer that in to the wood, and then that will hold it into place, hopefully. And now I'm just adding in more supports. Okay guys, here's a finished product. I've just got these tacked in at the moment. I'll finish those off camera, but basically one in the middle, one on each end. I've got these working, all the handles and the adjustment working. Like I said earlier, that's going to be where it bites into the log. I just got to sharpen up some of those bolts. If you're interested in how this will run, then stay tuned for the next video. Like and subscribe for more.